Sergeant Major O'Rourke. My apologies, sir.
You can save them, sir, for our grand...
Henry Fonda's Westerns. This remarkable, soft-spoken American began in films as a difficult juvenile. With passing years, he matured into a star character actor who exemplified not only integrity and strength, but an ideal of the common man fighting against social injustice and oppression. Perfect for a Western. Fonda was good friends with John Wayne from the time they were part of director John Ford's stock company. Henry's son, Peter, in his autobiography, stated that Henry had trouble with the Duke and fellow Ford film co-star Ward Bond over politics, as the two were definitely to his father's right. Peter said that the Duke and Bond were wonderful with him and very warm, in contrast to his father, who was rather cold. Henry would drift away from the Ford stock company, and his relationship with the great director would end on the set of Mr. Roberts, 1955, when he objected to Ford's direction of the film. Ford punched Fonda and had to be replaced. Fonda's 20 Westerns. The Trail of the Lonesome Pine, 1936, as Dave Tolliver.
When it's twilight on the trail and my voice is still, please plant this heart out.
Jesse James, 1939, as Frank James.
Well, they ain't gonna do anything. Are you fellas?
Jesse, stop him! Stop him!
Sorry, Ma. He started it.
Oh, please, Jesse, don't let him. Oh, Frank. He's gonna get hurt.
Looks to me like he's got enough.
Who's next?
Young Mr. Lincoln, 1939,
Is when
as
men
Abraham
start
Lincoln.
taking the law into their own hands. They're just zapped in all the confusion and fun to start hanging somebody who's not a murderer as somebody who is. And the next thing you know, they're hanging one another just for fun. Till it gets to a place a man can't pass a tree or look at a rope without feeling uneasy. We seem to lose our heads in times like this.
Drums Along the Mohawk, 1939, as Gilbert
The
Martin.
night we were married. You and Lana might as well have it.
That's mighty kind of you, ma'am.
Oh, nonsense. What good is it to me?
Can't ever tell. Good-looking widder like you.
Ah, shut up. You
Say
make...
that, don't even think it. Just tell me you won't be afraid and you want me to go. Lana.
I'm not afraid.
The Return of Frank James, 1940, as Frank James.
There being none of my ruckus, I ducks behind the bar. But Frank don't scare any. He pulls his gun and stands with his back up against the bar. It's 1 against 12 or 15. Red and his crew start blazing away, and Frank's blazing right back. He knocks off 2 guys and then gets hit himself in the left arm. Well, to make it short, he finishes off Red.
Good, good.
Better be taking all this down, miss.
It's all right, I'll remember.
Where was I?
The Oxbow Incident, 1942, as Gil Carter.
Judges or lawyers or sheriffs you hire to carry it out. It's everything people ever have found out about justice and what's right and wrong. It's the very conscience of humanity. There can't be any such thing as civilization unless people have a conscience. Because if people touch God anywhere, where is it except through their conscience? And what is anybody's conscience except a little piece of the conscience of all men that ever lived?
My Darling Clementine, 1946, as
Got
Wyatt
a
Earp.
warrant here for you and your sons. Charging the murder of James and Virgil Earp. There's also a charge of cattle rustling. I'm giving you a chance to submit to proper authority.
Will you come on right in here, Marshal, and serve your warrant?
Which one of you killed James?
I did. And the other one, too.
Fort Apache, 1948, as Lieutenant Colonel Owen Thursday.
Fort Apache. Blast an ungrateful War Department that sends a man to a post out here.
The Tin Star, 1957, as Morgan Hickman.
Fair fight, you won't find any bullet holes in his back. You don't like outlaws brought in dead?
Our officers of the law bring in their prisoners alive.
Your office of the law didn't bring in Jamerson at all. I'm not the law. I work inside it for money. Same as you do if you're in a legal business.
I believe the banking business is legal. I'm also mayor. My friends here are businessmen, except for Judge Thatcher and Dr. McCord.
Warlock, 1958, as Clay Blaisdell. How the West Was Won, 1962, as Jethro Stewart.
Their work, you understand? Now get rid of those bodies, start tracking those Indians.
You keep forgetting, Mr. King. My job's Buffalo.
It was Buffalo. Go to the paymaster and draw your time.
Well, now, that foreman fella, you didn't fire him, you just took him down a peg because you needed him. Who's going to shoot Buffalo, you?
The Rounders, 1965, as Marion Howdy Lewis.
Instead of bumps and grinds, we hiss and strike at each other. And when we shed our skin, it brings the house down.
Well, I bet it does.
Oh, this horse is a damn cannibal.
We used to have two windmills at our place back home. Had to tear one of them down. Wasn't enough wind to turn them both.
You're pulling my leg, Howdy.
How'd old Jim Ed?
Oh, he's fine.
How much did calves weigh up this year?
A Big Hand for the Little Lady, 1966, as Meredith.
That's what I thought. Ah, horseshoe. Oh, no, Henry, I am not lucky. I'm just skillful. Yeah.
Pardon me.
Now, what do you want?
You bet $100 on 3 twos?
I bet the way I feel like it.
Welcome to Hard Times, 1967, as Mayor Will Blue.
Turned into the soul of a man called a coward. His name was Blue.
Blue, I beg you, get us away from here.
I can't. Sure as winter brings summer, we'll draw that man back.
And I suppose you'll protect us. I suppose you'll take care of us like the last time.
The hurt fury of a woman named Molly.
Jimmy! The man who killed Jesse. He set fire to this...
Fire Creek, 1968, as Bob Larkin.
What's going on here?
Come on up, girl. Come on up there.
The girl got herself wet falling in, Bob.
I did not fall in. They were scaring me.
Fellow was just a little scaring.
You have a dress set to pay for.
In my case, I'm not expected to leave behind one of my men with a bullet in his back.
And you placate these animals you call men?
Certain things are expected of me.
Well, why not do the unexpected? Ride on alone. You don't need these killers.
You tell us what happened, Millie?
He forced his way into my bedroom.
Who's saying he wasn't invited over here?
I'll say that, mister. I don't see what this argument's got to do with putting the bullet square in a man's back.
Mister, where I come from, this calls for a rope.
Well, you just hold on. If anything, there's been an accident here. That boy'd never deliberately shoot anybody.
And what's your decision? Spread out, go in fast.
Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, as Frank.
Nothing matters now, not the land, not the money, not the woman. I came here to see you. Because I know that now you'll tell me what you're after.
The Cheyenne Social Club, 1970, as Harley Sullivan.
No cactus around here.
So I noticed.
Oh, now don't you worry about a thing, honey. Every single one of us was handpicked by DJ Personal. Ladies, guess who's here?
Harley, you don't suppose that... I mean, you don't think this is a whole... You don't believe it, do you?
Do I what?
Nothing.
There Was a Crooked Man, 1970, as Woodward W. Lockman.
Top of a prison yard.
Not for long.
so easy, being the leader of men. Is it?
Pittman, those men out there are filthy as hogs. Hmm? Can't you at least get them to take a bath?
My Name is Nobody, 1973, as Jack Beauregard.
Everyone knows about Jack Beauregard. 16 days ain't very long, even for someone like you. If you go away, who's gonna be left? Nobody.
Maybe so, but a man's got to quit sometime.
Someone like you gotta go out with style.
You know where he is?
Must be down below.
Which means you ain't going nowhere. Staying here with your Indian friends for good.
Since I was a boy, bitches on a horseback. The next one might hit a couple of inches lower.
Who are you, anyway?
Me? Nobody.
Fonda, Nevada, 1979, as Old Prospector, his last Western, working just one day.
Legend that ever lived. Gambler who wins her with a full house.
Let me, you cheated! I'll jump before I let a rat like you cuddle up next to me.
I want to buy a pack train to go prospecting in the canyon. I was told that you could fill the bill.
The Apache ghost.
To Nevada, life meant growing up fast.
You really do love him, don't you?
I can't figure him out.
I ain't saying I don't care for you. You put some meat on those bones and you'll be a real looker. The men will be falling all over themselves, just asking for your hand.
He's only a child. That child will cut your heart out and feed it to the coyotes just for laughs.
And I ain't afraid of nothing. That includes you.
We are rich.
All right, pick him up and hand over the gold.
Everybody knows there ain't no gold in the Grand Canyon.
If you're gun hand, go for one now.
Interesting facts about famous people.